How many budgeting apps do you have on your phone right now that you have not opened in over a month? One, two, more? And when you think about opening them, what comes up? For most people, it is not confidence or clarity. It is dread, a reluctance to look. Because looking means seeing the red bars, the overspent categories, the numbers that confirm whatever you already fear about yourself and money. Here is what I want you to hear. That feeling is not weakness. It is a completely rational response to bad design. The problem is not you. It is how these apps are built and what they communicate every time you open them. Today, we take that apart and give you something that actually works. Personal finance content spends enormous time on tactics, which categories to cut, what percentage to save, how to structure your paycheck. But almost no one talks about the emotional experience of budgeting. And that silence is costing people far more than any overspent category ever has. The truth is, knowing what to do with money is not the problem for most people. The problem is the relationship they have with looking at it. That is what we are fixing today. Let me describe a pattern that will probably feel very familiar. You overspend 1 week, maybe on dining out, maybe on something you genuinely needed, maybe just because life was hard. You open your budgeting app, the bar is red, the number is negative. Maybe there's a notification telling you that you went over in a particular category. In that moment, you feel something. Guilt, embarrassment, a general sense of failure. It is unpleasant. So you do what any reasonable person does when they encounter something unpleasant. You close the app. You tell yourself you will deal with it later. Later becomes a week. A week becomes a month. Now there are 5 weeks of transactions you have not looked at, and the idea of opening the app feels even worse. Because now you have to face not just the overspend, but the avoidance of the overspend. The shame has compounded. The avoidance deepens. This is the shame spiral. And the most important thing to understand about it is this: shame does not motivate financial change. Research in behavioral psychology is clear on this point. Shame triggers avoidance. When we feel bad about a behavior, we do not fix it. We escape reminders of it. Red bars and over-budget alerts do not create action. They create hiding. And hiding always makes the underlying problem worse. Standard budgeting apps were built on a specific assumption. If you can see the numbers, you will make better decisions. That information produces behavior change. That awareness is the missing ingredient. But that assumption is incomplete in a critical way. Because awareness without emotional safety does not create engagement. It creates overwhelm. When you see a problem but feel incapable of solving it, the brain's protective response is to stop looking at the problem. This is not a character failing. It is neuroscience doing exactly what it evolved to do. The apps that keep people engaged long-term are not the ones with the most detailed tracking or the most granular category breakdowns. They are the ones that make users feel something other than shame when they open them. Calm, progress, a sense of being understood, a feeling that even when things are not perfect, there is a clear path forward. The difference between a tool you use consistently and a tool you abandon is not functionality. It is emotional safety. Safety first, information second. In that order, always. So what actually works? Here is something concrete and practical you can use this week, regardless of where your finances currently are. It has 3 steps, and none of them involve looking at a red bar. Step 1, choose a starting point. Not the beginning of the month, not January, this week. Today. Everything before today is history. We are not going to audit it, grade it, or drag it into this week. We are simply leaving it there and beginning here. Step 2, ask exactly one forward-facing question. Not where did I go wrong, but what is one thing I want to do differently this week? One thing only. Maybe it is cooking at home 2 nights. Maybe it is checking your balance before a non-essential purchase. Maybe it is just opening the app on Sunday without judgment. One thing, not a full overhaul. Step 3. At the end of the week, acknowledge what you did, not what you did not do. If you made that one change, that is a real win worth naming. If you partly made it, that is still real progress. Financial wellness is built in resets, not in perfect months. Every week is a new opportunity to point in the right direction. The budgeting app problem is real and it is fixable, not by finding the perfect app, but by changing your relationship with financial information. When looking at your money stops feeling like opening a report card and starts feeling like checking in on something you are actively tending to, everything shifts. Start with the reset approach. 1 week. One thing. See what it feels like to end a financial week having done one thing right.